I am Deputy City Clerk Marcy Garrity, and tonight I have the distinct honor of calling the May 1st, 2017 City Council meeting to order. Thank you for being here. And now I will take the roll. Alderman Condon? Here. Alderman Devine?
Here.
Alderman Curry?
Here.
Alderman Schaefer?
Here.
Alderman Glad?
Here.
Alderman Santi?
Here.
We have a quorum. Will everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight is a special evening. We have 5 newly elected officials that we will be administering the oath of office to. 3 aldermen, a new city clerk, and a mayor. I will begin with the aldermen. Afterwards, it'll be the city clerk and then the mayor. And I would like to begin with Ward 1 Alderman Victor Santi. Hi, Vic.
Hello.
Would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Victor A. Santi,
I, Victor A. Santi,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Illinois,
and the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Ward 1 Alderman
the duties of Ward 1 Alderman
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you much.
I would now like to call Ward 3 Alderman Jeffrey Schaefer.
Hello.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jeffrey A. Schaefer,
I, Jeffrey A. Schaefer,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and the
States
state of Illinois,
and the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Alderman Ward 3
of Alderman Ward 3
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I would now like to ask Chad Mihevc, elected to the position of Alderman Ward 5. Hi, Chad. If you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Chad Mihevc,
I, Chad Mihevc,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Illinois,
and the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Ward 5 Alderman
the duties of Ward 5 Alderman
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. And now I would like to ask City Clerk Lindsay Nevitt to come up. Hi, Lindsay. Hi. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Lindsay Nevitt,
I, Lindsay Nevitt,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Illinois,
and the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of City Clerk to the best of my ability.
of City Clerk to the best of my ability.
Welcome. And now I would like to ask Wayne Jett to please step forward. Good evening. I don't know. Maybe I said that. Good evening. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Wayne S. Jett,
I, Wayne S. Jett,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Illinois,
and the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of mayor
of mayor
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
All right.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. I'd like to say something before we get this meeting going. Congratulations to all the new elected officials sworn in tonight. It'll be a pleasure to work with all of you. I want to start out by, a lot of people have been saying that tonight is my night. I am not making this up. I'm not making this about me, as this celebration is about the future of our community moving forward. I am excited to work with this amazing council and hardworking staff as a team. I also want to thank all of them for meeting with me throughout this election process. As I took all this information as much as possible to be ready for this position. I want to thank my beautiful wife, my kids, my family, my friends, and supporters for getting me elected as the next mayor of McHenry. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the City of McHenry mission statement. The City of McHenry is dedicated to providing its citizens, businesses, and visitors with the highest quality of programs and services in a customer-oriented, efficient, and fiscally responsible manner. The next item on the agenda is public comment. There will be 2 opportunities for public comment during the meeting now for any topic that is not included on tonight's agenda, and later as specific agenda items are considered. Public comment is an opportunity for general public or for general or topic-specific input. While your input is valuable and will be noted as part of the public record, it is not a forum for open discussion or debate between the public, council, or city staff. Any person wishing to address the city council should step forward to the podium and state your name for the public record. Public comment may be restricted to 3 minutes for each individual speaker. The first opportunity for public comment is for items that are not on tonight's agenda. Is there anyone here tonight for this purpose? I see none. The next item on the agenda, I'm looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda 7A through 7D as presented. Can I have a motion? Alderman Glab?
I'll make such a motion.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Santi.
I'll second the motion.
Discussion, Alderman Glab.
No, I think everything's pretty clear on this. It's a small, actually, consent agenda tonight, and I really don't have any problems with what's being proposed.
Thank you. Alderman Schaefer?
No questions.
Alderman Curry?
No questions.
Alderman Mihevc?
No questions.
Alderman Devine?
No questions.
Alderman Condon?
No questions.
Alderman Santi?
I have no questions.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Condon?
Yes.
Alderman Devine?
Yes.
Alderman Mihevc?
Yes.
Alderman Curry?
Yes.
Alderman Schaefer?
Yes.
Alderman Glab?
Yes.
Alderman Santi?
Yes.
The motion passed unanimously.
Next item on the agenda, I am looking for approval to publicly bid the 2017 street resurfacing program as recommended by the Public Works Committee, along with the approval of resolution authorizing the use of motor fuel tax funds for the project. Director Schmidt, will you please introduce this item?
Thank you, Mayor. Staff requests City Council to authorize staff to publicly bid the 2017 street resurfacing program and approve a resolution for the use of motor fuel tax in the amount of $115,000.
Thank you. Prior to council consideration for this item, is there any member of the public that would like to comment on this item? I see none. I would like to see how council would feel about adding Dartmoor alternate to this bid program to maximize the savings for this agenda item to help with saving costs and get more roads complete. I'm looking for a motion to make that amendment.
Is it Dartmoor or Current?
Dartmoor. So Kern is already part of the,
Program.
it's an alternate. So this would be an alternate.
I'll make that motion. To
Uh,
include the Ridgeview, Centedra, Medical Center Drive, Lawrence Parkway, Curran Road, and Dartmoor from where to where?
We're proposing to add Dartmoor from Boone Creek Bridge to Curran Road.
make that motion.
Alderman Schaefer, second. Alderman Condon. Discussion, Alderman Schaefer.
We discussed this at the Public Works meeting, and although the last 2 years we've tried to get roads in a similar regional area in town to help with cost savings, and this was what staff presented as the #1 grouping of roads. And although most of them are centered around the hospital, it made sense to go with that for this year, although I do know that there are many sections of town that could also be improved. We've got to go with what we have the finances to cover, and this would be good. I do have a question regarding the Dartmoor addition. John, do you have how that would affect the dollars?
Staff is estimating that the Dartmoor addition would be about $330,000.
And what we can do, Alderman Schaefer, is again, at this time, we're just going to bid, so, staff has already identified in the packet the Curran as an alternate. This is just adding another alternate, and we see what happens with the bid when it's returned. And if it's that's the estimate provided by staff. At that point, council would make the decision on whether or not to include the alternates based on pricing, and then we'd also be able to present, if they wanted to do that, a budget amendment to be able to add those to it. So, or either now or some later point do that amendment.
The other question that I had that would possibly get answered in the process is if truly there is a savings from moving from one side of town to the other, or just in a general area, because I've had some conversations with some of the construction people, and when you're in a town, they consider that the general area. So moving from west side of town to the east side of town to a lot of them is not considered a huge expense or cost in that addition. So I know what our goal is to keep it all centered around a certain neighborhood or certain location, but I just would like to see if we could get that information clarified. Meaning that if they're in McHenry and they're doing something by the hospital and there's opportunity to do something over by Vets Park to those construction groupings, is that considered a huge move or not, expense-wise?
Yeah, we don't have a unit cost price for mobilization. It's built into the cost of the asphalt. I guess that's something we could look at in the future to unit price mobilization to get a hard number on that. I have to think that there is cost for mobilizing because they have to. That is time and equipment use to move it from one side of the town to the other, or several different streets.
Mm-hmm.
I find it hard to believe that there's not a cost for mobilization. It's just built into the price.
The same thing would apply if they're working on Curran and moving to another road in that same neighborhood. They're not driving that equipment, they're trailering and moving it as well, correct?
That's what we have done in the past, right? That they were loading up on low boys or flatbeds to relocate the equipment. This year we took a different approach. Just like you said, we tried to stay in one area and limit the mobilization, that they would be able to drive the equipment from one place to another.
All right, thank you.
Alderman Curry.
Well, my question was similar to Alderman Schaefer's, and before we added the Dartmoor, which might just complicate, I was going to suggest that we, quote Ridgeview as the alternate and Curran in the mix, and then versus the way we have it now, which is Ridgeview in the mix and Curran as an alternate. And one of the reasons for doing that was to get at those two different costs. You'd have two costs in for Ridgeview, and you'd have two costs for Curran, and then we would answer that. Hopefully answer that question, because it occurred to me when you look at the, at the area around the hospital and include Ridgeview, you're going to have to pick up the equipment anyway and move it a quarter mile, because we're not doing those streets, the continuation of the streets to get to Ridgeview. So they're probably going to have to mobilize it anyway. I mean, I know it's not as far, but whether it goes there or whether it goes 2 miles down the road to Curran, it just seemed like it wasn't going to be that much. So But I think with the Dartmoor as another alternate might complicate that a little bit. I would like to see some way to get at that. That's all I have.
Alderman Mihevc?
No questions.
Alderman Devine?
I have no questions.
Alderman Condrey?
Just a comment that, ideally, we would do every road that's on this list, and as we all know, we have to be very careful about how we get to even accomplish the roads that we are able to do every year. I really compliment staff with being able to put together a system that outlines for us the roads that are on the most needed list. And I guess just adding the extra roadway and on Dartmoor allows us, as it goes out to bid, to be able to get it, that estimate, and when it comes back, then we review it again. If we can proceed, great. If not, we'll have to review it. So I'm happy to have that additional roadway in there.
Alderman Santi?
With this addition, what is our total cost now?
Well, with the current road as the alternate, as in the agenda supplement, we're right around our budget number. Our budget number is $915,000. And then with the Dartmoor, like I said, we're anticipating, $330,000. We've been seeing real good numbers come in on other bids that have been come in with the township and the county. So we kind of like to take advantage of that number that's coming in.
So we'd be coming in about 1.2 then?
Yeah.
Right around there?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I've expressed over the last 2 or 3 months that I would want to see something at least at 1.2 or higher. We did invest 1.9 last year, and we did do a tremendous amount of work. And we do have to continue to do as much as we can over the next few years. I'm glad that this Dartmoor is added to it because I was concerned about at least getting to that 1.2 million. I don't think you can get too much arguments about repairing roads and maintaining them anywhere in the city, at any wards. So I'm happy to see that number go up in regards to road work. And I guess my just individual concern of what I've seen is just one thing on I know it can't happen now or maybe in the near future, but when you look at option 4, we had that portion of Lake Boulevard in there. And to me, when you take a ride over there, everything on one side of Lake Boulevard is just completely resurfaced with our McCollum Lake project, McCollum Lake Road, and everything on the other side of Lake Boulevard was taken care of through the ownerships of the shopping center. So that's just a little piece that that we really need to get at as soon as possible because we've got perfect roads on both sides of those, on both sides of Lake Boulevard there. And that's the only comment I have. I mean, I'm glad we're up at 1.2 though.
I guess I'd like to add too, in addition to the road program, our road maintenance program this year is approximately $135,000 too. That's going towards the road maintenance.
Thank you, I appreciate that. No further comments.
Alderman Glenn?
Hey, John, these figures that you're giving us for the roads, is that off of what we normally had figured on as far as the cost for those roads, or is that looking at, I know the township, I think we had discussions about a week or two ago.
Right. The numbers I provided tonight are the latest update. They're not the same numbers that we talked about at Public Works Committee. We had analyzed some bids that came in through the townships and the county, and then we also did a more refined measurement. When we do our estimates, we just, it's not as accurate as we know what roads we're going to use. Our engineer went out, Troy did, and finally tuned the measurements. So I'm fairly confident in the numbers that I reviewed tonight.
Okay, so these are basically based off of what the township was, because I know we had talked at that time that there would be a lot of probably savings this year versus last year due to the fact that the numbers are coming in so good this year as far as pricing. So glad to hear that. Another thing I wanted to address is as far as for council's edification, so that they're aware of it, that we have some title problems on Medical Drive. The first leg from 31 past, I believe, Integra Drive is still showing up with a PIN number being owned by the hospital. Even though we have, I guess, we had approved dedicating it years ago, and I think the plat of dedication showed it, but yet still, as far as the county's, and there's, I know staff is still trying to clarify it, but I think staff needs to, or council needs to know that there is a leg there that is not on, showing in the county that it's owned by the city. And I'm sure we could probably get that cleared up before the bids come back, but just so council's aware of it, I think everybody should be, happened to go on there a couple weeks back, and all of a sudden I noticed there's a PIN number there, and it didn't make sense. And again, I voted against it. I'm concerned with the fact that we're not really doing any neighborhood streets. Needless to say, I'd like to see at least 1.9 million every year. Even at that number, we're really not catching up. We're just kind of slowly maintaining it. And I applaud staff over the last couple of years. We've done a lot more on maintenance, and I know we're spending a couple $100,000 on maintenance for roads that we never used to do in the past, and that's a plus. But all I can say is it'll be interesting to see what kind of numbers we get, and I hope we get real favorable numbers to be able to do everything we discussed.
Any other discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Condon?
Yes.
Alderman Devine?
Yes.
Alderman Mihevc?
Yes.
Alderman Curry?
Yes.
Alderman Schaefer?
Yes.
Alderman Glad?
Yes.
Alderman Santi?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. The next item on the agenda is mayor's statement and reports. I have one thing. I would like to thank John Schmidt for 33 years of service with the city of McHenry as of today. So thank you very much. And the next item on the agenda is committee reports. Anything? Next item is staff reports. Doug?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to point out two things. April 30th through May 6th this week is National Small Business Week. The council had, or the mayor read a proclamation, the council approved that a couple weeks ago, so I just wanted to point that out. Also, tomorrow at McHenry County College, they are having a small business fair. It's from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's in the college gym multi-purpose room, and it's for existing businesses and or if you're thinking of opening a business. So, and they also have some information on franchising and direct sales. So I wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Next item is future agenda items. Alderman Glenn?
I just wanted to bring up the fact that last week I had a discussion with the chief, and I appreciated the direction. I've got a constituent that wants to start a neighborhood watch program in his area, and it seems to be blossoming fairly well as far as interest. And we may want to reach out to the rest of our wards and the rest of our neighborhoods as far as people that might be interested in it. I think it's a great program. It's kind of gone by the wayside a little bit lately over the last few years, and I think it's something, it all started out with, our signs are starting to deteriorate a little, and brought it up to the public works, and then the question was, well, do you have a watch any longer active? And so they are starting to reform, and I think it's a good program, and see it flourish everywhere. That's all I have.
Alderman Schaefer?
I just wanted to make a comment. Earlier this last week, we were invited and attended the new grand opening for the Police Dispatch Center, the NERCOM Center, and I think that the board of directors of that group and the chief of police of McHenry and the other chiefs of the other things needs to be commended, because it's a fantastic facility, and I think it's going to add to the benefit of not just the citizens here in McHenry, but throughout the county and the other municipalities that are also using that. So it was very, very great to see that. It's nice.
Thank you. Any other future agenda items? See none? All right, next item on the agenda is adjournment. I will entertain a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting. Alderman Condon?
Motion to adjourn.
Alderman Glad?
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Santi,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderman Schaefer,
Yes.
Alderman Curry,
Yes.
Alderman Mihevc,
Yes.
Alderman Devine,
Yes.
Alderman Condon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.